Well, hey everybody. It wasn't. I was supposed to time that a little bit better, but welcome back to another live, folks. Jesus, we're on YouTube, so I'm trying to be careful. Right, we're gonna watch back the full unedited congressional panel. So, I'll give some commentary here too in between questions. So, it's not the best video, but it's decent sound from my mic. All we got in the chat here, man. Do we got anybody in the room yet before we get it going? What's happening, Kurt? I'm in here squirrely early, man. Yeah, I posted that little short, a little short, excerpt from my trip to Nashville yesterday, and a lot of people really got hot and buttoned by the use of social equity, and I really feel like people are just they're not looking at things for the nuanced topic it is, man. So they're automatically thinking of something totally different when they start thinking about social equity. So I want to take a little time before we jump into the video to explain what that means in the cannabis world. All right. And I was speaking about fake social equity because often we have people that manage this funding that we could get our hands on, and they create these programs so that they can manage that funding, right? And they then further victimize these people that have already been victimized throughout, like, just for example, the cannabis situation. People who've been to jail and we're not even going to bring race into it because it's really not a racial thing. It's more of an economical thing, because when you're poor, you're fucked. All right. It doesn't matter what color you are. You're equally fucked when you're broke. So that's where it comes in. You lock your ass up and use that to fucking get in your car, to search you. And there's not a lot you can do to defend yourself as a broke person, So that's where this is coming into play. People who've been victimized using cannabis throughout the past, who've been charged with that, should be able to participate in markets. That's what equity means. It means that now that I've been stripped of my rights, I should be able to get a license, because now we've got companies from California here in Florida. And it'll be the same story in Tennessee when it ever becomes legal. We'll have companies from out of state moving in. Man, the first time I did time for cannabis in the state of Tennessee was in 1998. I've dedicated my life to this plant, man. My son was 4 years old when he saw my door get kicked in, and I was a single father taking care of him. And, I sold cannabis. It was a crime. Yeah, it was. But I did it. Somebody had to provide. But do you believe that some company from Canada should be able to come down with a bankroll and just take over the whole fucking state that I've fucking bled and fucking done time for this shit? Come on, man. I put everything I've had behind this shit. So that's what it means in regards to this. And I am not talking about any other topic, because just like I tell you guys, tell your fucking legislators, I'm a single issue motherfucker around here. We ain't talking about shit else. We're talking about the cannabis industry. So when we're talking about equity, it only applies to that in the very unique situations. And I really don't like when people try to make everything the same thing. And we're going to see in this video, we have a candidate, and I like the guy. All right. I like him because he's got a background in economics, and I've studied economics in college. I didn't get my degree, but I studied business in college. So I understand economics pretty well. So I understand the gentleman's perspective on some things, but he doesn't understand this industry. So, and that becomes a problem, because you'll see in the video, I'll ask questions. It's not just him. This is a lot of these politicians. I didn't know any of these people before I walked in the room. I was invited by the Hemp Law Group and the Tennessee Growers Coalition because of my knowledge on the subject and my experience to be the person to write the questions and ask them to these potential Congress people that'll be going, if elected, they'll be going to sit in Congress. So anyways, drove up there, paid my own way to stay, all that good shit. But so let's get into the video. Y'all know me, I kind of ramble a little bit, but you're going to fucking see. They know what's going on. What I'm saying is people are so blinded by these culture wars and all of this fucking political nonsense that's been going on in our country. People, as soon as they hear the word equity or social equity, that's a hot button. They feel like they're being excluded. You understand? So they feel like it's not equality. They feel like it's something that's giving somebody else an unfair advantage. And that's absolutely not the case in these cannabis markets, man. I just can't even I can't even explain. As a typical consumer, most have never had to really think too much about it except where I'm going to get it. Oh, that source is dry. I just got to find another source. But as somebody heavily involved in the market, there was a lot to it was a lot to deal with. But anyways, man, let's get into the whole summit here. Man, hey, what's going on? We're doing good. We're gonna wait to get into this to start the smoke. Yeah, it's I think that the cannabis industry is a unique situation. A lot of people really. But I want to go ahead and say this before we get into it. Everybody has their own cannabis market they're in, and people really know that well, for the most part. Like, they're so tuned into it. Like, the trappers are tuned into their little ecosystem. Your bud tender at the dispensary, he's tuned in. He knows everything in every store, and he knows he's got the secret fucking sheet of the cookie seeds that they're growing in-house, and they just change the names so you can get them for cheaper from their in-house selection or what, you know what I mean? All people know their little ecosystem. But man, it's so different when you start to look over here and you look over there. Like, if you go up to Detroit, or you go, into Michigan, or you go down into Texas, you come here to Florida, you go to Arkansas, you go to Atlanta. It's different everywhere you go. So there's unique elements, but there's a lot of things that remain the same across it. And the thing that really matters the most is the way those people are being policed, right? That's the number one thing, is how people are policed in these situations. Are the police really cracking down on weed? Are they fucking coming after people for smell, this and that? Or are people comfortable, Anyways, let's jump over here. Let's get the share going on, and I'll pause and give some commentary. I don't have my freaking my what you call it? Where's my? I don't have my my. I'm not on Streamlabs, so we're gonna have to. It's gonna be like kind of shitty sound coming back through the mic. So I apologize. That's not it. That's not no. Hold on, we're screen sharing. Here we go. All right. Make sure we got this thing loud enough for everybody to hear.
Good evening again, you guys, and I want to thank you for coming to our first Tennessee Cannabis Summit. I'm going to give a quick introduction of everyone, in case you don't know. So hello, good evening. My name is Cannabis Marley. I will be your hostess for tonight. We do have our moderator, Mr. TJ Bateman, and I have a quick intro about him. Mr. TJ Bateman is a cannabis content curator and an activist who turned a teenage felony into a mission.
Exactly. That's the multi-state operators. Hold on, wait a second. Yeah, we well know this. This is why I'm there talking to these potential Congress people, because we well know that like these corporations come in, not just the MSOs that stack licenses that come in and eat up the local market, but you also have industry that makes products for production, like Quest dehumidifiers, or different companies that make lighting systems and just all this different equipment. And they'll come in and they'll in-house finance in these new markets to these new businesses. And man, they get these people in these fucked up contracts and shit. And the next thing you know, their shit's failing. They got all this stuff they're in deep ass in debt for. But anyways, it's a big fucking mess the way things are currently being handled. That's why we need, we need federal legality so that certain elements of the industry aren't hidden in the shadows. But let's listen.
Advocating free debt plans, balancing family life, he fights to ensure no one faces prison for cannabis alone. So let's give a round of applause for Mr. DJ.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes, he also has a podcast called Cannabis and Coffee. Is that correct?
Yes. I've got about 4 or 5 YouTubes. My wife has a YouTube, so I've got quite a few that I run. So.
Okay, perfect. And then now I do want to take a minute just to let our candidates introduce themselves. So let's start off with Representative Ms. Afton Bain.
So I'm Representative Afton Bain. I am a legislator in the Tennessee legislature, which my district includes downtown Nashville, East Nashville, half of Madison, and half of Donaldson. Prior to that, I was a community organizer for almost a decade, working to rebuild small town rural communities, as well as building power in the state. And my entire track record has been trying to push back on big government in the state legislature as well as federally. And I decided to run for the seat because my generation is facing crisis after crisis, and life is unaffordable, and our communities are feeling deeply unsafe. And so I am excited to be here, and a big fan of the Growers Coalition. And I'll talk a little bit about my legislative track record, perhaps during the discussion.
Hey. Let's get a round of applause. Thank you so much. Next, we have Ms. Teresa Perry Christie.
Hi guys, I am Terry Christie. I'm a boat captain, a former paralegal, a recovering paralegal. That's what I should say. And a recovering Republican. That was pretty good. Anyway, this is my first time running for office. I am not a politician. I am a person. I wrote this down on the way up here in the car. So it's a little off the cuff, but I wrote down some points I wanted to make. I believe in freedom. This nation was formed to be governed of, by, and for the people. As your congresswoman, I will represent you, every one of you. Partisan manipulation and big money puppeteers will not sway me from the very stake we're doing. Corporate shields, spin doctors, carpetbagging lawyers, and corrupted partisans have been eroding personal liberty for way too long. The Constitution begins with we, the people. We are those people. It's time to restore personal liberties and property rights. Again, I am not a politician, I'm a citizen, and it will be my greatest honor and my highest duty to truly represent you, to advocate on your behalf. That's what a representative is supposed to do. That's all I have.
Thank you so much for that, Ms. Perry. And then last but not least,
Well, they give us some political introductions, ain't it?
Thank you.
Hi, my name is John Thorpe. I haven't voted in almost 25 years, and I'm running for Congress. I also am not a politician. I think we have far too many politicians. Quite frankly, I would prefer to run as a representative. I think Washington does not do a good job at all of representing us. But I wasn't on the sidelines per se. I spent a little over 10 years in the Army, and one of my jobs was to get people to sign up to vote. But I swore an oath to the Constitution, not to a party, not to a politician. So I studied economics. I have a master's degree. I currently am raising my family up in Robertson County. We've been there for 12, 13 years, something like that now. And I like to look at the issues for the merits themselves. And I'm looking forward to just talking with you guys about whatever issues you want to discuss. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. John. So before we get started, we're gonna go over a couple of house rules. So for the candidates, you guys all have 1 minute and 30 seconds to answer the question afterwards. So just be looking at me and I'll give you your time. Sometimes I will allow you to go over. Now, each candidate, Mr. TJ is gonna ask you a question. You all each get to answer one question. If there's a question you like that you weren't asked, feel free to be like, I want to chime in on that after that candidate already answered, okay? But remind you, each one gets 1 minute and 30 seconds, okay, you guys?
The votes will go on forever.
Okay?
They will not.
So thank you guys. Please silence your phones. If you want to record.
Before we get started, Matt, I'm going to let you know, I ask questions and some of them, they give anything but an answer to the question because they're politicians campaigning. They already got planned what they're going to say. And I do bring it back and I call them out on some of them.
If you want to take pictures, take pictures. But let's make sure we focus and we listen to what they have to say. And at the end, there will be a Q&A for the audience, okay? But without further ado, Mr. TJ, take it over.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out, and thank you guys for coming out. And thank you to Kelly for inviting me to do this. First of all, I want to tell you guys, I don't know everybody's names. I'm not familiar with you. So is it all right if I call you Afton, you Captain Terry, and you Mr. John? Is that all right with you guys? Okay, that way we've got some names to put with everything. We didn't mention it earlier, but I'm a big advocate for the hemp laws because hemp is for the people, is what I believe. And I've moved my family to Florida. We were planning to move to Nashville this summer, but when we had this House bill that turned into the a public chapter 423, which got rid of the smokable flower in the state of Tennessee. I had family out of state Florida, so here I am. But I'm honored to be here. So I'm going to start with you, Afton. I've got a question on the market control and federal protection, and it's a corporate monopolies. With alcohol controlling the distribution of drinks and edibles, many hemp companies fear marijuana MSOs will dominate the remaining market. How will you protect businesses at the federal level and prevent corporate monopolies from squeezing the Tennessee's growers and small operators?
Yeah, so one, I have a track record working on anti-monopoly issues at the federal level. I worked for a nonprofit that was engaged in federal advocacy and trying to ensure that the monopolization of various industries didn't take place, including agriculture. But in terms of this question, in order to prevent corporate monopolies, we need to set caps on market share, depending upon that would prioritize small growers, small businesses, et cetera. We also need to share. So what's been happening at the federal government is there's a lot of grant monies, funding, right, that are going to these consolidated corporate monopolies rather than the small guy, because the small guy doesn't have the technical assistance to apply for these grants, et cetera. So we really need to remove red tape to ensure that a lot of the growers and the small businesses have access and to those programs.
No, the money is actually there because they hide it. I'm gonna pause it right here, man. There's so much grant money out here, folks. Like if you're going to school or you're a business owner, and it's like unless you got a lawyer or somebody on the inside, it's hard to even know about the stuff that's available for you. And these larger businesses that have a team of lawyers, they're absolutely robbing that funding that is set aside for the smaller businesses because it's set up in a way that it's hidden from you. the intent, this is what I was trying to touch on with the fake social equity. The intent of that funding is for the small business to get help. But the way that it's set up is the funds are all going to these larger corporations. You see what I'm saying? They're robbing the shit because people like you and me that are trying to enter markets have no clue about it. For instance, like with college, man, there's so many different ways, grants for study, for funding, paid work study, and all sorts of things that you can find on government websites, but you really have to dig. That shit is not easy to find. They do not make it easy to find. But and especially when it comes to like court grants for businesses and stuff. But let's get back.
In a lot of cases, correct.
Yeah, well, the big industries are getting all the money from the government.
They're so
They're grifting. So we need to ensure that red tape is removed so that the small businesses can access that funding.
Okay. And like Marla was saying, if there's any question that you're not asked directly and you've got something you want to add to it, feel free. Go ahead. But I do have a question for you next. Go. If you have something quick, I do have a question for you next.
And I agree with most of everything you said, except for regulation. I think all of this needs deregulation. I think the more that we regulate, the more this happens. So creating more
She's not wrong.
regulation to get to the small guys, still gonna drive it to wherever it's being seen. Whoever can bring the message is that. So I'm all for deregulation, period.
All right. Well, the next question is for you, Captain Terry, on economic stability. Recent changes, higher taxes, higher license fees, and new hemp definitions are creating significant uncertainty. What policies will you champion to keep Tennessee's hemp growers and small businesses competitive and profitable?
Not just hemp, but many things in our country are so overregulated. You can't braid hair without a license. That's not okay. I am very strong for deregulating, and I would definitely sponsor, if not write, bills to deregulate hemp and other industries. So I'm not a one situation or one topic candidate. We've got a whole system that needs fixed. I won't be able to fix it all, but I will certainly be one to start that ball rolling.
Okay, so yeah, you're for removing barriers to entry to the market and which is the reason I'm for the hemp industry, is because of the low barrier to entry for the average person for the cannabis market. And it's something everybody should know about. I started my YouTube channel so that I could educate people about hemp law, so we could even have a conversation about preserving these laws, because it affords people the opportunity to enter this business and no longer be criminal if they have been so in the past. And it's really an amazing thing. So moving on to you, Mr. John.
Boom, that's some important shit there. I almost want to back it up right there, because that is what this channel is born out of, and that's what I'm all about, is all you motherfuckers out here that are in the streets. You need to know about these fucking hemp laws. You need to know if you're in a state where you can go to the agriculture department and give them a couple $100s and get yourself legit, man. You know what I mean? What's happening? We're gonna continue on with this. I just wanted to stop on that for just a second. But anyway,
We've got a question on industry competition. Big marijuana and big alcohol are accused of pushing over-regulation to protect their market shares. Do you see these efforts as corporate profit grabs rather than consumer safety measures? And how would you ensure a level playing field?
Well, I don't know if you guys did that on purpose, but all three of those questions are almost identical at the root. What I think is being missed is that these all represent barriers to entry to the market. And barriers to entry are merely, it's the red tape that the captain was talking about. It's the regulatory burden, the hurdles and the loopholes that are carved out for certain people. And the question is, who writes those laws? It's not actually the lawmakers, it's the lobbyists that represent the big businesses. And they give these to the structure that is currently there. The Republicans and Democrats have basically, I want to just come out and say bought, and been bought by big business, but they take massive amounts of donations from the lobbyists, from these industries in order to pass through these laws. And so the issue isn't necessarily who is going to write a better law, because right now it's the lobbyists. So you need somebody that's there that is not going to be taking money from the lobbyists, who's not part of a party who is going to be pressured into supporting laws because it has been sponsored or co-sponsored by the right party, or you have to ignore or vote against something that makes sense simply because it was written by the wrong party. 10 seconds on 10 seconds. So at the end of the day, I think you need to listen to, again, you need to represent, you need to listen to the people. I think 63% of Tennesseans want relaxed laws here in Tennessee, so listen to them.
Bro did not even answer
listen
the
to
question,
people
but
for sure.
I forgot
right,
he
and
went
I'm
on such a
Got a
rant.
question for you, Afton. And this is Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky is a champion of the hemp industry, and he recently saved the hemp industry. How would you reach across the aisle to support the hemp industry against big marijuana and big alcohol?
Hold on, before she goes on, I asked her this question because she's the only one. These other two individuals are independents. She's a Democrat. So I had to ask her that question about working, reaching across the aisle, working with the other side to, further laws within the industry, because these other two, they're independents. So it just wouldn't, they'd be like, whatever, I'm independent. Anyways, we're going to let her answer.
I think the federal level is a microcosm of what's happened in Tennessee. Last year, we invited Jason Cantor, who was the assistant attorney to the Department of Justice and the antitrust department. I'm sorry, I've been campaigning for 14 hours.
Oh, goodness.
Cantor. And he came to Tennessee because he was very interested in what's happening here in terms of, as I said, the market consolidation. But the Department of Justice has been hollowed out in their antitrust, and in fact, the Trump administration is not pursuing current antitrust lawsuits that would benefit the consumer and the small business. Additionally, I think we're going to talk about the Safer Banking Act, but at the state level, and we'll get into this, but we passed a bill that basically placated big alcohol, and big alcohol went out in this bill, and it was really tough. It was a tough fight, and I think we learned a lot from it. But in that, it's what these two have mentioned in the Tennessee legislature, it's cash for clout, and so the more money you receive from lobbyists, right, and these are consolidated lobbying muscles. So big alcohol has a ton of money on their side, and they ganged up on all of us, right? They were able to pass this bill, and so I do
They
think
snuck
it's getting,
up on us with that.
yeah. And so I do think it's getting big money out of politics. One, and kind of if I had waved my magic wand, that's what I would do. But it's also about organizing. So I'm a community organizer, and a lot of what I do is push back on power, right, and build alternative power to the power that we're seeing in the state. And so we have an opportunity, especially in Tennessee, to be organizing around this, which is what hopefully this event and will be many more.
Hold on, I got to stop right there. She said we have an opportunity in Tennessee to organize around this. And that's the thing I've been screaming forever, is for people need to be organizing. And she's talking about our alternative power. That's us. That's us forming collectively groups, coalitions within our states, within our communities, to hold these people accountable, these elected officials, to show up at these court hearings, to show up at these Senate hearings, when they're passing these fucking laws, and show up in these House hearings when they're passing these fucking bills, man. So that's the missing piece to the puzzle, if you ask me, when it comes to really kicking the can down the road with cannabis legalization. It's the people organizing, showing up. Texas is doing a great job of it. I mean, I can't say enough about the state of Texas, the businesses and the people there, and the fighting spirit that they're displaying there. Everybody should be inspired by Texas, because cannabis is something worth standing up for. Jesus Christ, man. I realize as a consumer, you may only have to find a new place to source, but there's a lot of people out here that have done a lot of time for this shit. There's a lot of people who have a lot invested as far as their business, their families, they depend on it, you know, and we all love cannabis or we wouldn't be sitting here right now. Y'all wouldn't be listening to me. So anyways, we're going to go on.
As to what the impact of this consolidation looks like. And so that's what I'm interested in, especially since it's not just our industry, it's not just the hemp industry. It's right now. So
All right. Okay. Well, moving on to the federal framework and national policy, we got another question for you, Captain Terry. With hemp facing attacks from both state and federal levels, what immediate steps should Tennessee lawmakers take to protect small businesses and consumers today?
Tennessee lawmakers, well, they need to go their ducks. Sorry, y'all, is this better? Tennessee lawmakers need to stop sitting on their hands and being intimidated and afraid. Good old boy politics is also threatening. So the same as at the federal level where the parties come to you, a new Republican or Democrat going into Congress will be told by the party how to vote. That's not representing their people. And our state level is doing the very same thing. The way to fix this is to start voting for independent.
I believe her on that. Anybody from a party is going to be told how to fucking rock. You know, they're going to be like, you get in fucking line, because they got a war between these political parties right now. And you are not allowed to think for yourself because you're fucking going against the team, bro. So I believe she's absolutely right. But the fucking sad part is people won't vote in independents. They won't vote in free thinkers. So anyways.
Independents that are truly independent is true of this country. And that's how you're going to fix it, because as long as you go with the partisan system, you're not going to win this battle. Because there's money in it for them to stay in the battle. That's it.
All right. All right. And on to you, Mr. John. We've got a question about the impact of Schedule 3. With cannabis policy moving to Schedule 3, how could federal reclassification affect Tennessee's hemp market, research opportunities, and a path toward adult use?
So, I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. I did not know a whole lot about this industry until I got the invitation. I was one of those ignorant bystanders who thought there was a difference between hemp
Hey, brother, we're not going to get into all that growing big buds. We're not going to do a bunch of that in here. There's plenty of places on the internet for that. But this ain't it. We're not going to talk about any presidents or get it too far into that. We're only talking about weed right here. So
that in the name of safety,
plenty of places for that. We're not going to go too far down that hole. It's your one and only warning on that.
Pile of candy or something. When they start monkeying with what schedule it's under, what I know there was a question about the 0.3. When you start messing with the details, it can dramatically affect the ability of businesses to predict what they want to do in the future and how they're going to structure their businesses and who's going to buy what and how much of what you need to order. And so it just messes everything up. I think a better approach would be to stop testing the plant itself and test at the manufacturing side like they do with corn. They don't test corn for the alcohol content at the field. That'd be stupid. They wait until they turn it into ethanol or alcohol or whatever it is they're going to do. And that's where it needs to be tested, because you can literally do almost anything with the plant itself. So you need to, there's too much reaction and emotion and not enough sitting around actually talking about the issues.
All
I'd like
right.
to add to that. I love everything you said, by the way. But I'd like to add to that hemp was the primary crop in this country until you had the Hearst Corporation, the DuPonts, and the oil industry. Most lamp oil was hemp oil before power. Just as much fabric was made of hemp as was cotton.
All right, bro. Hold on.
We literally
We're not
killed
going to do all the fucking political talk. Told you already on this. So we're not going to do all the fucking political. So you're out of here, bro. Ham. Where you at? Yeah, there's. I'm gonna say this one time. This is not some place we're gonna come and talk about our personal politics. All right. When it comes, we are here to talk about one thing. Is I'm a single issue motherfucker. Just like I say to tell your legislators when you call them, you need to put your politics aside and you need to focus on the issue at hand, and that is cannabis and cannabis legalization. All right. We're not going to start these conversations that erode our community and cause division. All right. If you start those sort of things within our chat, we will ban you. I don't ban people for much, man. I don't have a whole lot of rules, but we're not going to have conversations that take and split our community down the middle and just totally weaken us, you know? So we're not even going to go there. We're going to focus on the topic at hand because we're coming together for this.
Largest industries in 1937 simply to enrich those.
That's always, that's all the time, man. We're together in here. We're not nothing that's going to break down the community.
Whether that's me or this gentleman over here, but if you go down party lines, this is the first time in history that we can see the independent. This is the first time in the House of Representatives in our lifetimes. So you have an opportunity to vote for an independent who will actually.
I'll be right back. Going to use the
restroom.
restroom.
With a good spin. I mean, spin is spin. You can say what people want to hear, but that doesn't mean you're going to get anything done. An independent can.
All right, on to, we got a question for you after about interstate commerce. If federal law changes to allow interstate cannabis trade, how would you position Tennessee's cannabis growers to compete nationally?
So this is a question about the capacity and infrastructure right now. So the bill that passed in the legislature immobilized a lot of our industry because it's basically going to push a lot of them out of business. And so I think that this would be a moment where if it wasn't classified at the federal level, I think there would be a massive push to try to re-engage those that have not been and or those of the disadvantaged with the activists losing this campaign. But I think we could make it a massive industry. We could make it a brand like Tennessee had brand, like Tennessee whiskey. We can make it a brand, and it would allow our farmers in Tennessee to stand out in a really crowded market. And then we could also tether it to Tennessee's agricultural industry and make it a whole thing, so that people come to Tennessee, so they buy our hemp. It's also important that within the Farm Bill that there's equity for Tennessee farmers who need to get USDA subsidies as it moves off the Schedule 1. What was the other thing? I think it would be a massive opportunity. Now, I think the ecosystem feels demoralized. I think they feel like their state government is unaccountable to their needs. And I would imagine that a catalyst such as the reclassification of this would really propel the industry and allow them to really come together, work together, and generate a lot of new revenue that would be back reinvested into our communities in Tennessee.
I do need to answer to that. As someone who's working on opening a winery, I can tell you from experience that I'm sorry, after that thing you said answered the question for me. Here with the interstate commerce, Tennessee, our state legislature made laws that we couldn't bring in outside stuff to produce wine here. Well, because wine is regulated by the federal government, that law was overturned. So if you can get this through the federal, the state is not gonna be able to do the hogwash that they've been doing. So you need this approach at the federal level. None of that other stuff matters because we've already got case law to go on from the wine industry to stop that. Once it's federally legalized, they can make their laws and they will be struck down. So that's all.
All right, great. Well, you've got the next question, and it's got to do with the banking and finance issue that a lot of cannabis companies are facing and have been forever. So would you back federal reforms like the Safe Banking Act to give hemp and cannabis businesses full access and protect small operators from predatory lending?
Absolutely. Predatory lending is something I really don't like. I moved full-time to Tennessee in 2003. We spent our winters here. And my main address was on Mackinac Island in Michigan. It's very well. So my zip code, the only thing about me that changed was my zip code. And I went from 0% interest on $100,000 credit card debt, was a business owner, to 27% interest. So when you're talking about unfair banking, I've got a problem with that, but you're talking about this lending to cannabis growers. And the problem is we need to stop. Congress needs to stop regulating things. Banks are supposed to be there. If this is a business model that you can profit from, they make money off of you.
Mm-hmm.
Predatory lending needs to stop. And they've passed law after law after law, and the lobbyists come in and they change things. And the predatory lending, Tennessee, by the way, our state legislature allows us to be one of the highest. We are victims here because our state legislature will not do its job. They will not represent you.
This is true. State Tennessee's got a lot of payday loan and bullshit, predatory lending going on, and very poor people that are taking advantage by it.
This is
Yes, that's me in the middle there, sir. On the high
It
chair.
would be a snowball effect. You may not need a lot of independence because those partisan people who answer to the party instead of the people will be afraid to answer to the party and they'll start representing too. So it could be, that's all it takes. And that's not just on him, that's on all of our freedoms. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Thank you. I appreciate that. I just wanted to add something real quick about this predatory lending within the cannabis industry, because the way that it's set up, especially in these state regulated markets.
Hold on. You're going to find that a lot. Your boy is going to add to what these folks say because I got a lot to say, you know. And this is why this is why the Hemp Law Group and the Growers Coalition invited me to be the person in the high chair talking to these candidates because I have unique knowledge on the situation.
When they open up in a new market, you get a lot of major companies that produce equipment for the production, and they come in and they will finance themselves for these companies, and they'll sell them a bunch of junk that they don't need, and it's highly unregulated because this stuff is not going through the oversight of a real financial institution. You know what I mean? So there's a lot going on. These people are being victimized, and it's all going on without the knowledge of the institutions that would typically handle these things if it were handled through like every other business in the world.
Oh, that's loan sharking.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's not just loan sharking. It's they come in with equipment, and then they'll finance through the company to the grower or the business owner, because the bank's not going to finance it. And it may or may not be stuff that they need. And since it's a new market, people are excited just to be that they've got cannabis in their state. So they're ready. They've got investors that are ready to back them. And then before they know it, they're up to the head in debt. All this equipment off that they got, and it just turns into a mess because of overregulation, the barriers to entry, the lack of financial support systems, it's a lot going on there, but we could go on that forever. I just wanted to touch on that a little bit because it's something that people in business they really struggle with, among other things. So next question, that was banking and finance. Our next question is going to be,
hold on. Once again, back to that, it doesn't matter who started or who, placing blame in this culture war is not creating unity. What we want to do is we want to foster a community that creates unity within the cannabis space. We don't want to be a place where it's just us four and no more. You know, we want to open door for everybody to come in and be part of this fight. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to do any exclusionary. We're trying to be that bridge that brings people back together, a place where people can escape those divisive conversations of day to day, what your news feed is telling you and what your TV or whatever your sources of information are trying to get you excited about today, because it's something every day out there. So we've got a main issue here. We try to connect and you know, fellowship or whatever you want to call it over things that we have and hold in common, which the main thing here is cannabis. So, and yeah, it's a lot of people out there that are doing a lot of things to cause division within your household, within your friend circles, people you don't even know that you've never seen. And that's a whole nother thing, but we're here to talk about cannabis.
Okay, yeah. CA enforcement. For you, Mr. John. With the enforcement of a 0.3% total THC threshold looming, what oversight will you support to prevent wrongful arrest and ensure consistent testing and regulation?
Well, I think I sort of answered that one already with test the product, not the plant, because you know, you can go over a little bit and they'll force you to burn the entire crop, or you can do it wrong. So I think I won't beat that dead horse, but I would like to just sort of pile on to some of the other things. I in my prep, I stumbled on a statement by Randy Hall, who it was either I think it was just yesterday. He's worried that there may be an outright ban of hemp production because of the way that they are in Congress talking about rewording the definition and how they're negotiating things. I don't know really anything other than just what his statement was, but it kind of piles on to the fact that there is an inability to make discussions on the merits of these issues in Congress, because they are so embroiled in these left versus right, Republican versus Democrat, and I don't want to just put it back to that, but like Terry said, there is a snowball of independent candidates that are coming down the pipeline next year. I know personally 44 candidates for House of Representatives. There's numerous, at least 4 for the Senate. There are many governors that are coming down the line. People are sick to death because we can see, we just look around. I mean, anybody that's involved in this industry, I just talked with Matt for 5 minutes before this, and he told me in 5 minutes, so much dysfunction in the cannabis industry that it boggles my mind. And so, I mean, who wrote these laws? The only way we can get them changed is by doing something different. So I think I strayed a little bit. I do apologize.
You did, and I want to bring it back, and I want to give an example that Clint shared with us earlier, and exactly why I'm asking this question, why it specifically stands out, and it's very important on its own. All right, Clint spoke about a case over in Arkansas that he recently dealt with, where they had a judge that would not allow evidence to be admitted into court, and they were railroading these people. They were doing, I don't know what the case was, but they weren't allowing the evidence, the documentation, the COAs, anything to be admitted into court. And that's a huge problem when you get into these small communities that are very corrupt, and historically through the South. We all know that it's been the way in small towns, that it's been forever, and it still is in a lot of these towns. So you get people that get targeted, if they've got a business, whatever, and then when they decide to put that target on them, they may or may not be guilty, but they they get prosecuted to the full extent of the law, but they don't even get a chance to protect themselves because judge is so anti and against whatever. He's just, nope, you're not in my court, not in my court. And there's not much that they can do in a lot of these situations without, somebody in Congress.
Well, what they'd have to do is go to prison and appeal their case from prison.
Intervening, stepping in, holding people accountable, in these small communities, because a lot of them, that's been a problem where you see more of them getting exposed all the time, but they get away with so much because nobody's holding these people accountable. They run these small communities, and if they don't like you there, they'll do whatever and abuse you, and it's historically been a problem. So, being able to hold them accountable in these situations where they are targeting individuals and making wrongful arrests is a big issue. But we'll move on from there. But next one is going to be for you, Afton, and it's going to be on adult use legalization. So, do you favor legalizing or regulating adult use cannabis in the state of Tennessee? It's pretty straightforward.
Yes, I do. So I filed a bill last year and worked with the Growers Coalition to do so. We call it a North Star bill, which means in a state like Tennessee where everything is kind of falling apart and they are decimating industries, not just ours, but all of them. It's a bill that is your North Star, what you want to see Tennessee's industry look like. And so what we did is we rerouted some of the revenue to go to our general highway fund. And so we called it pot for potholes.
I remember hearing about that in Jackson, Tennessee, actually. Because I was living near Jackson.
Yeah, a lot of my homes in Jackson. Oh, yeah. And there was a nursery in Clarksville that changed their marquee to legalize pothole repairs. And we saw just a lot of support because I think the struggle in the Tennessee legislature, they're totally disinterested in diversifying revenue streams. And so with my legislation, what I've tried to do is, what is a new revenue stream that we don't have right now? That is legalizing marijuana. And so, and unfortunately, right now in the state we're dealing with a body of Republicans that are very much like just say no type drug. Like they still have this very antiquated stigma about drug use and hemp use, and that's really motivating how they legislate to the detriment of this industry. And so this is a bill that I hope to file again imminently, hopefully. But like I said, it's something that we can organize around in the state because it is an issue that transcends partisan lines. And it's something that we can use to educate voters about the impact of this bill that just happened in the legislature, which decimated our industry.
Great. Yeah. To add to that, I've been a felon since I was 19. Never voted in my life. Never really get involved in those arguments. But I've noticed in the past 10 years, people are so like you can't even be friends with people you don't agree with anymore, and it's gotten bad, and it seems like nothing. We don't make any progress anymore because people they want to go against each other if they're a different party or whatever. I've unfollowed every news outlet long ago, and people that post on these things just because it's just so exhausting to read that stuff every day. When first thing when you wake up, I can't believe this or that or whatever in the world's going on. I'm like, snooze. First, I would snooze people for like 30 days and see if they calm down. And then that used to work on Facebook. Like you'd snooze them and the election would be over or whatever. And things, not anymore. Like some people are they're just on one. And it doesn't matter what direction they're from. They're down the rabbit hole or whatever they're being fed because they're into it.
Yeah,
But
well, I just want to clarify that this is not, what they're doing in the legislature is a distraction. The culture wars are a distraction from the fact that
absolutely.
Their state budget, they haven't fixed our roads, they have not enabled small businesses to thrive. Our tax code is written to benefit multinational corporations rather than any small businesses in the state. In my district, this is in my district. and it's gonna get really bad, and I think.
It's all by design.
Yes,
You know,
but-
it's all by design.
It's already pretty fucking
Right,
bad.
because the state of the bonds over the highest bidder. But we have the opportunity in the next few months, the next few years, to really build a coalition of people who have our values in terms of this industry, who believe in, legalizing cannabis in the state, and it's a winning issue. And so the more and more that you all can organize your communities and you can go back and you can bring people to the coalition, right, independent of party labels, the better it's gonna be for the long haul.
Absolutely. It's something you keep missing. Organizing communities, I think that's a big piece of the puzzle we're missing in the cannabis legalization, is organizing the communities, because a lot of people just don't take the subject that seriously because they're just going to source from somewhere else. It's a small inconvenience for the consumer.
TJ,
So-
can I add something?
Excuse me?
Can I add something?
Yeah, absolutely.
So she mentions coalitions, and I fully agree with that. And coalitions are interests of the people, interests of the business owners, interests of the locals. And she also mentioned that the Republicans are anti-drug and they don't want to pass, be really supportive. She'll very much talk. 53% of the Republicans in Tennessee are in favor of recreational marijuana. So
Actually, I would say more.
well, then, I don't know, this was what I was given, or I don't know, make statistics you can make up, they say there's lies, damn lies, and statistics, so take your pick on how true it is. But the point is that the legislatures are not listening to the voters, they are listening to the parties. That's where they're getting their marching orders from. They don't really care, they're gonna look at who the lobbyists are and what the leadership themselves, how do I need to vote, I don't remember who said that earlier, how do I need to vote on this issue so I can remain in good standing? They're not looking at the issues, what's best for Tennesseans, what's best for the voters, what's best for the people. And that's what has to change. All of these issues are because they're not listening to the voters.
I agree 100%, but I'll go a step further. I consider the parties primaries. They extort their members. You're gonna vote this way, or we're gonna run somebody against you in a primary in the next election. That is the definition of extortion. The representative should be speaking at the federal level, even state, majority of their budgets on constituent services. That way you're hearing from the constituents what they need, what's best for them instead of the lobbyists. Constituent services is huge, and we do not have that. Mark Green, the guy who just quit, that this office is open for. I called his office 3 times over an issue in Fairview. There's an apartment complex out there for elderly, and they've got a Gestapo manager that tells a 98-year-old woman she can't leave her porch light on to come in at night. She tells them she can't open her windows to let light in. It doesn't allow this. This is a Gestapo. So what do? You actually call your state legislature. There's a HUD subsidized apartment complex. So you call your federal one.
Mhm.
Constituent services, when you call your representative and you say, we've got this problem going on, it is their job to step in the gap and help you get this figured out. And then none of them do that. None of them. That's why our country.
Captain Terry, ain't none of them done it.
So again.
Captain Terry's the true, man. She gets off in left field at the end.
That's how I feel about it. And that's what we're covering Republican speaking here.
All right. I've got the next questions for you on decriminalization of medical access. What realistic steps can legislature take toward decriminalization and statewide medical cannabis access in the next session?
In the next session, bills can be pushed forward. It's not going to go immediately. I can just tell you that they're going to knock it down, that it'll get it there. It'll get it there quickly. And presenting a bill to decriminalize hemp, using our platforms as legislators, not just hemp, but many things, many freedoms that have been taken from us. Hemp was our largest crop in this country. It rejuvenates the soil when you do it as a rotating crop. It is a wonderful farm crop. And medicinally, it needs to be decriminalized. I'm old fashioned. I make my own black walnut tincture. Put me in jail. Go ahead. Stuff works. You get a wound, it cures. I grew up with a grandma that made hemp tincture. She was born in 1896. It was legal back then. This stuff works. So, and she certainly wouldn't have smoked it ever, nothing, never, she wouldn't have done that. But she used it medicinally. And we need to get back to that. When you're taking away liberties and freedoms from our citizens, we might as well be in a country that is not a free country. It's not we the people, it's them, the big money, big corporations. The monopolies are insane. Even our electric cooperatives.
Kurt, just wait till later. Just wait.
Because of their corruption over in our electric cooperatives. And I told them it's highly Republican. So I told them if they wanted to see how fast our Kansans would vote rhinos out of office, to pass that trash. And they passed it, but guess what? I guarantee that Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
She's a sweetheart, Captain, but she's a rambler.
And that's what they do every time.
And then she gets all say she should later. What?
All right, I've got the next one on local versus the state authority for you, Mr. John. Should local governments have greater flexibility to regulate or pilot cannabis programs ahead of state law?
I think part of the problem in general is chaos. Look at soybeans right now. Tariffs have destroyed how many tons of crops for farmers across Tennessee. Corn, I just talked to the farmer yesterday and said same thing with corn. The prices have been falling through. And that's in something that is fairly regulated and supposed to be structured from the top down. If you start allowing every town, every county to do their own thing, you're going to be looking at, I don't want to say the Wild West, but it would make it extremely difficult for planning purposes and how to cooperate and how to intermix with each other. And I'm all for competition. I think there should be free competition, but I think there should be a broad structure at the federal level that is kind of shows what the boundaries are. They should put some definitions in there that don't change arbitrarily based on who's in the office or who is the Secretary of Agriculture or whoever they decide to allow to that particular day. And then the states can come up with the nuance, and they can have some competition between the states, and not every state may want to do the same things. But I think people within the state want to be able to expect the same thing when they go from one county to another, and not have to redefine every single rule that they put on the place. So I wouldn't want to necessarily put anything in stone, but I would leave it more or less at the state.
Only not bros.
If I can swing in
I'm gonna say something about that. All right. Now, let me put in a context question and repeat it. All right. I asked, should local communities have, freedom to pilot or restrict cannabis policy in their community ahead of state government? This is in light of Schedule 3 or just federal decriminalization. You follow me? Should these local communities have the power to make their own decisions, like people being able to smoke at the park or whatever? And I think we totally should, because communities are so different. Like when you go from a city to another city in a particular state, like say Nashville to Memphis, and I'll give that exact example. Very, very different people you're going to be dealing with, and what they, expectations of behavior and things that they're comfortable with are going to be really different. And that can be that way within a small area even. So leaving those communities with the power to either pilot recreational or medical use programs within their community, I think that cannabis is not that harmful of a product that a community, if we've got leaders in charge of it that are, invested with the, running everything else, I don't think that cannabis is something so dangerous that they could not regulate it, but because it's over-regulation has classically been the issue with it. Because when we over-regulate, there's so much that doesn't get reported, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, because people fear getting in trouble for whatever. It's causes so many problems. The only things that need to be regulated really are that adults are getting the product and the product's safe for consumption. But anyways, I'm fucking going forever. Let's get back into this.
In doing it that way, we're putting it at the local level. You've got superior law, federal law over state and state over a local municipality. So you cannot make laws that violate your state or federal laws. So it doesn't work that way. It wouldn't hold up to any kind of judicial review. So that's why I can't say you start at the top. You fix it.
And she's wrong on that because, like, Ann Arbor, Michigan, man, has decriminalized cannabis 57 years ago, I think. So different states operate differently, right? Some states allow their local communities, and they're not going to, like in the South, you decriminalize in the 50s. If you would have decriminalized pot or something, that could have caused some crazy shit. You know what I mean? It could have caused some, like, the fucking National Guard to come in and take over your community or some weird shit. But not the case in Ann Arbor, Michigan. But anyways.
The top. All this piecemealing that's been done, look where that's got us. So you need to start at the federal level.
All right. So, but, I'm not sure that.
Anyways, the question was, is under the assumption, because they're going to Congress, that they have, that we get federally legal cannabis.
And we're really getting the question of when we're talking about piloting programs, we're not just talking about creating, we're also talking about regulation as far as disallowing, because not every community is going to want the same things. Memphis is a totally different community than Nashville. You get into Knoxville, it's a totally different community. And you get into Linden, Tennessee, or Hickory Valley, Tennessee. These are vastly different communities that are governed way differently. And the people within these communities, they live there because they like the way it is there. You know what I mean? And I think that a community should have the power to make their own decisions. Just like dry counties, like you go to Arkansas, you're from Arkansas, so you
I'm
understand
gonna get a drink.
perfectly driving to another county to be able to buy beer or whatever else, because that's living in Arkansas. I believe Mississippi has some dry counties as well, but yeah,
I live in
that sort of thing. I'm just somebody. I believe that a local community needs to be they should be a little more empowered to make their own decisions, and I believe cannabis is it's not completely harmless, but I believe that it's not something so dangerous that a small community wouldn't be able to make sound decisions on the regulation of it.
Making those kind of choices when we're talking about recreational cannabis versus hemp.
Medical, recreational.
Nothing should be regulated by you, but that's a farm crop. It's used for manufacturing. That should not, no county should be able to say you can't grow tomatoes or corn. That's how I feel about it.
The thing is with hemp, though, hemp is just a legal term. So we've got cannabis that is on hemp markets that is the same exact cannabis that you can purchase on the marijuana market. So it's just a legal term.
That would be the point to it.
So, but that's really that's a whole other discussion about something, that's a whole other point of discussion. But yeah, the 0.3 thing is kind of like it's not even anything to really speak on, really, to tell the truth. But yes, so who was our last question? Mr. John. Okay. And
tax structure.
Yes, I've got something special for you, community investment and transparency. Would you dedicate a portion of cannabis revenue to education, child services, rural development, and support transparent reporting systems so voters can track how every dollar is spent?
Yeah, I'll talk. My niche, I guess, in the legislature is being creative in terms of tax justice and tax fairness, because our code is rigged against us. It's rigged against workers, it's rigged against small business owners, and non-consolidated industries. So, in terms of the tax structure, should we federalize cannabis, right, and it becomes legal here? In terms of the tax structure, we would have to protect small operators, earmark transparently, and localize margins. And so I would absolutely invest in all of those things. These are just some ideas, earmarks that people can see. This is the pop rules, right? Like 35% for transportation, 25% for behavioral health and addiction services, 20% to the newly created hemp and cannabis farmer fund, 10% to rural hospitals and federally qualified health centers, which keep the doors open for rural access, rural healthcare access, and 10% for administration, enforcement, data, and grants. And I think, unfortunately, right now, our state legislature, they're not the most transparent. In fact, I wrote bills to try to slush fund, just an example, a slush fund for them trying to court the.
I use this camera and mic
Super Bowl
for
millions of
recording. I got this mic
dollars that
clamped on the
they
mic stand
refuse to let us see how they're being spent.
right here. You
And
see it?
so there's,
See the
anytime there's a legislation passed, there's always stipulations included that inhibit any transparency for you all to see. We passed a tax cut, and they say it's a tax cut. It's a tax giveaway. They handed out $1.5 billion of your tax dollars over to these multinational corporations in this country. Just handed it over. And they refused to, they only agreed to put the recipients of that giveaway for 10 days on a rogue website that no one could find. And so I say that they do not have a track record of being transparent. And so this is obviously an industry that we would want to ensure transparency on the front end, especially so that everyone can see where the money is going and how it's being spent, because that's also good for voters, right? Because then we can all run on it. Hey, look, you see the power being built. It's not money.
You see what they did with their budget.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice to see what somebody does with their budget? But okay, so we've got the tax structure designed for you, Captain Terry. If Tennessee legalizes or expands cannabis sales, how would you design a tax system that balances public health, youth prevention, and fair opportunity for growers?
I would do it very much like the alcohol industry. I'd like to throw it up on their head. I'd love to see it thrown up their head to where Tennessee ABC is also Tennessee ABCH. When they have to do this, the same rules apply. They
I was just waiting, Kurt.
But they can't keep you out, and they can't do anything worse than they do too. It's already hard, by the way, to get your processes through. If you're an agricultural business, as a minor, I literally had to jump through some hoops and tell them this is what the rules say, because they were telling me things that wasn't even true. So I know the battles you have to go through. And as your representative, that would be part of your constituent services. Look, I've got this. But we use our budgets that we have for our office, and we have a constituent with an issue. They should be able to contact their federal representative, their state representative, and have them help. So far, I haven't seen any Tennessee representatives help. And constituent services is huge. That's how representatives do their job. If we can get representatives to do their job again, and maybe leading by example would be my way forward, because it would embarrass the others into doing it as well. So as far as the taxes, I think it would be very much the same structure. You got federal excise taxes on what you're holding as far as liquor. So if you got a lot of stuff in silos, as far as hemp goes, then you tax on that. Very similar way. I mean, you've already got a framework, so you don't have to go looking for it.
Yeah. just to touch on what you're saying there, you mentioned a lot about ABC, and that's just something that I absolutely don't want to see. I don't want to see the alcohol board controlling hemp, cannabis, or anything like that, because that's exactly what they want. We're what if we're putting that revenue in control of ABC, which is in direct with the lobbyists from alcohol, we're setting ourselves up for a big folly with that. I could just smell it coming, because they're like, oh yeah, we'd be more than happy to regulate it. And of course, they've got the framework already in place, and they've got billions of dollars to pay lawyers and professionals to write whatever would make you happy to send that money in their direction. That market share, and that's what they're trying to do. They successfully they snuck in. I did a podcast with Kelly and Clint a few months back, right before I left Tennessee, and we talked about alcohol sneaking through the South, and they went state to state. They failed in Florida. They were successful in Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, I believe Mississippi and Arkansas to absorb just about all of the edible and drink share and do away with the smokable part. So because they're going to just hand that over to the MSOs that are come in later, and they're going to there's a lot of mess that could happen here. That's why we're having this whole discussion tonight.
And there's a taxation framework.
But when we're talking about the framework and we're following in closely with alcohol, who's going to want to control that? The people that are in control of alcohol, and they're going to use all their power and everything that they already have in place to just
squeeze you out.
Yeah, squeeze everybody out. Hemp is historically for the people, and it needs to remain an open market for individuals, for people, anybody out here sitting in here who wants to be in business, to be able to enter the market. That's what I believe, because I don't think anybody that wants to be in this business should have to do it illegally, should have to worry about. Man, I had to go to jail at 19. My son,
that was wrong.
We had to have, our door got kicked in because I was selling weed in Memphis in 2008. My son was 4 years old, organized crime unit, just kicking in the doors, staring everybody half to death. I mean, I just got home I was a single father, just got home from picking him up from school. Could have came any time of day. It's crazy. It's crazy. Nobody should have to go through that. When I could have just went to the agriculture department, got a license, sourced something from a legal source, never had to deal with people who might kill me, rob me, anything else, worry about getting my door kicked in front of my son, because this is where we're pushing these things back to. Don't be mistaken. And it's no better than it was 20 years ago when I was in the street. All right. It's no better. It's a lot worse. The guns are worse. The gangs are worse. Everything else and all the other drugs that are mixed in are worse too. So we want to get cannabis out of that whole situation and that entire ecosystem. We want to take it out of there, and we want to take everybody that has truly got something to do with, not just latching on to it for a stream of revenue, but people that love this plant, and we want to protect them through the law where they're not going to be getting locked up for simply they like to use it. This is how they medicate. This is how they relax or whatever.
In the early 90s, I ran a public figure.
That was a little bit of a rant there, huh?
Jasper Counties in South Carolina. Very young. I'm very young and new to the world of that. DJ to that. Big difference. I never once, in 1,000 horrific crimes that were drug related, never once saw violent crime with marijuana. Not once. And then years later, starting in 2007, when I left working for law offices completely, I went to work as the executive assistant to the CEO of the ranch, which is a very nice recovery facility here. I never once saw somebody recovering or marijuana. I saw marijuana being used to help them get off of these horrible drugs, and I will not ever support those. So I wouldn't be here if that was what we were here for. There's things that turn people into different people, that turn them into sociopaths. Meth psychosis, and literally diagnosed as a sociopath when you weren't before, I had a very big problem with those kinds of drugs. But some of those people coming off of meth use marijuana to help them keep
Yeah, there's a lot of people who've kicked out. I know so many people. Like I host live podcasts, live streams for lots of people, and there's so many people in the community that were addicted to opiates or alcohol. There's a huge portion of people that are able to successfully self-medicate with hemp products through the hemp market and not use opiates that were opiate addicts in the past. There is a huge
You can ask
population
my
is
daughter, I am a coke addict, you know, if it's up in the red can. But I am truly an addict. I drink at least 12 a day.
That's true, though. I know a lot of former opiate addicts in our community that are California sober now. Thank God. Because if you know anybody or if you ever struggled with an opiate addiction yourself, it is absolute hell. So, thank God for that, for people to be able to use this plant and to, utilize the hemp market and it's life changing. Believe that, because Suboxone or methadone, that is no way to live. Back to the
If that was leaders, you would say,
discussion.
That's bad. That's really bad.
And I can't use marijuana, unfortunately. I'm a boat captain. No, I can never use it. I can't even use CBD oil. I can't use anything. But I think that you should all be able to. And I do understand in an industry like in what I do, I understand we have to regulate lots of things that should be legal for everyone else.
Yeah, safety.
So there's certain.
Never
time you should not be using anything that alters your perception at all. It's inherently dangerous.
There's no brakes on boats.
There's no brakes. So if anyone says, well, she would never touch this stuff, well, I can't.
Questions.
I might get off a Coca-Cola if I could.
Can I add something really fast, since I didn't have one last question? Just to answer sort of that tax question. I think you bounced around a little bit. Let's be honest, higher tax revenue is gonna equal higher government spending. They do it over and over and over again. And I think that doesn't help anybody, because like Captain pointed out, the system is opaque and we don't know what they do with our money, where it's even coming from. I think what we need to do is make it more transparent, like she pointed out. We also need to make it simpler. We shouldn't need an army of accountants to figure out how to do our damn taxes. It
Exactly.
shouldn't take us,
It should be sensible.
billions of dollars it takes and the millions, hundreds of millions of man hours just to comply. I think it should be just like, if you make less than $1 million in your business, 5%, that's it. Figure out a list, send in a postcard, boom, you're done. It took you about 12 seconds plus working stamp.
She's got
I'm
the
still
mic.
waiting for that from President Trump's first time around.
We need to stuff like
Yeah.
where it's gonna make everybody's life easier, it's gonna expand the economy, it's gonna make our life simple, then we can focus on these things where, how do we address things that truly matter, that are life altering, that can I get access to medical marijuana? Can I get access to an industry that's not gonna be changing every single day just because the whims of whoever's in charge is changing quite a lot. So appreciate it.
That's a very terrifying thing. My daughter's sitting right over here. She averaged 4 days a month in ICU at St. Thomas with an unknown illness that was terminal.
I'm sorry, Captain Terry's not going to quit. We're going to cut her off in a minute.
We didn't know she was gonna make it. It was very bad. She's now a respiratory therapist, y'all. She's still working with she has a medication. The only thing that would work to keep her alive is for eczema, but it works for breathing and certain with her disease, Sandler's triad. Took 4 years to diagnose. Insurance companies have knocked her off of it multiple times because guess what? It's $1,400 a year in the UK. It's $70,000 a year in the US.
Big pharma.
This is one of the reasons medical marijuana, not just medical. You know what? I told him when I was a teenager, very professional people I would have never known, back in those days. I'm old. I was facing menstrual cramps that were ungodly. I've never had anything like it, never have since. I'm sure I had a cyst or something, whatever. My friend's mother was a nurse, and her father was a professional. And I was spending the night at her house, and he came out and had me take one puff I didn't know that they did that, by the way. Shocked me. Oh my God. I was a teenage girl. What? Everything was so secret behind closed doors. And it immediately stopped those crimes. Immediately. Do you know what kind of medications they would have, addictive medications, had I gone to the hospital, they would have given me that night? So I recognize it that we shouldn't have to go to a doctor for something as
everything.
simple as that.
Yeah.
And my mother knew that, and before 1937, you could do that. So Native Americans did. And it was just something people did. And guess what? Our country went through an industrial revolution and they shut that stuff down.
They get hydrated. We're in for a
They
long
literally
haul.
shut down, limited our industries. It's not cool. Okay, sorry, I am on the soapbox and I'm not a politician, I'm a person, that's why.
You're fine. I'm a talker too. I can sit here. I can go on, especially if it's something I'm passionate about.
They'll vote for what I say, just to shut me down.
Well, you guys, let's give another round of applause for our candidate panelists. Now we're going to open up the floor to ask questions. So does anybody in the audience, I know we asked a lot of questions. Does anybody in the audience have a question you want to ask an individual candidate or the candidates as a whole? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Marjorie. Speak loud for us, please.
How y'all doing? I have a great question. I have thoughts, and I would love to get your thoughts on my feedback. Two things. The first thing is, what's our appearance from Marjorie?
TJ.
Thank you.
TJ. So my first thing is,
I would go ahead and cut it here because we're going to get into. Wait, hold on. I think, yeah, we're going to go ahead and cut it because it's going to get into freaking Senator Terry going on for the final 20 minutes there. So we're going to cut it right there. That was the only question we had going on, and I made my little statement about the fake social equity because that's a problem. These people, all this funding's out there, so you'll get politicians that write these fucking grants applications to get, the funding for this or whatever, this or that. And it may or may not go to that, but they do, they do secure the funding. I know a lot about grants because I used to work in phone sales. Had a friend who had a company, and all he did was when I first got out of prison, I sold cars, and then I quit selling cars. I went to work for my friend. He had an office, and he had a bunch of desks in it. And we just had all these phone numbers, and we would target government grant funded operations that had to spend certain amount of stuff on promotional products. So we would pitch them the products. We had scripts. We would pitch them the products, and they had to spend the money, but they could only spend so much money with each company. So, to prevent to prevent them from just going and spending all that budget with a friend of theirs or whatever, they had to spread it around with a couple of different companies. So that's all we did was fucking target them. And man, dude, the type of shit that happens like at the end of the tax quarter with a lot of these not just companies, but government funded, like very common in military, not so much in the YMCA and those type of programs, but they like in the military, they destroy so much shit. Like this time of year right now, they're destroying things so that they can rebuild them or whatever. They're condemning equipment so that they can get new stuff just so they can maintain funding that they're getting. It's crazy. And that's how the funding works with grants. If you don't use it all, they reduce it. So it's really wild the way that those grants work. Like, if you got a business and you come in under budget, you get a bonus, man. Well, if you got a grant and you come in under budget, you get penalized. They they reduce your grant. Rosalind, I've never heard of Rosalind, no. Dude, I was looking at Jake Rose the other day. He's got some pretty fire looking rosin on there from good deals. Who won the beauty contest? Who's having a beauty contest? The boat. Oh my God. Captain Terry. You should have heard her, dude. She was telling so many stories. Like before we got ready, there was like a meet and greet and mingle. And of course, Captain Terry was there fucking bright and early. And boy, I was sitting there in that chair. Captain Terry is this far from me, telling me about being out in the Gulf and catching a 450-pound dinghy like this. And because she was all adrenaline. That was crazy, man. She was nuts, man. She's something else. I was like, is this woman going to try to kidnap me this whole day? Jesus Christ, man. Captain Terry, you got to get back to the boat. Oh, Lord. I don't know. I don't know if she helped her campaign with the appearance. She's a sweetheart, but I'm not sure how much she helped herself. Man, hey, but this was my first time ever doing something like this, man. Ever being in a room fucking full of people talking to damn political candidates and shit. What in the world's going on, folks? Holy crap. Did y'all think I did okay with my this is my first time. I'm gonna try to do better next time. Try not to ramble so much and try not to cut those folks off, because I did cut them off sometimes. They said something I ain't I moderated the fuck out of them. Oh shit. Well, thank you, Kurt. Oh Lord. I'm gonna have to hold the fucking phone. Oh shit. Oh shit. Like this is that what you said? I'm stop, man. I'm gonna get in trouble. They ain't gonna invite me to DC. I keep doing that shit. Oh Lord, y'all gotta stop, man. Oh man, it's been a while since I've had any Gorilla Glue on from Lit. Is it on? Has anybody had it as of late? Shit. I need to get a picture of that on a t-shirt and wear that to the next meeting with them. Be like, "Go, Captain Terry!" Get the fucking Gilligan's Island captain hat. Kind of like put that sticker on. Oh shit, man! I haven't looked at Lit today. Let's we can take a look together. Let's go for a looky-loo at Lit. You got somebody asking what to get on Lit. What tier are you looking at? What are you? They got some schmalls. Ooh, they got grape zope smalls. Those were highly recommended. I'm not going to show it. I'm not going to say any pricing either. But the grape zope, I've heard those are really good. Gorilla shirt. They got a. If you're going essential, you might want to check the small menu. Man, they got the small menus fired up, yo. Cap City Kush. Platinum Bubba. Shit. Man, to make me another order. I just got a bunch the other day. Yesterday. You know, or whenever I came back in town, I had, ooh, it's some pink rose. It's the new stuff on the Supreme menu, pink rose. The menu looks like it's changed up a little bit. Sharpies is always one of my favorites. Formula One is one of my favorites. We're looking at Supremes here. Preferred or essential? Can we look at Boom? Yeah. I mean, I haven't looked at Boom before. I've never had anything from Boom. Here, let me get over here and look at the preferred or essential. Yeah, I've never had anything from Boom. I got a new Revelry pack in here. Some smalls. All right, we got white gummies, Zope, pink runts. Man, if you like the OGs, Notorious OG, let me see. Sticky rice is good. Sticky rice is this is on the preferred. It's a really unique flavor, right? It is a LCG permanent marker cross. So if that sounds like something you might like, you might like it. Lemon cherry belts is going to be fucking fire if you like that. And neon runts, I liked it. Dirty Martini is a good one. I just smoked a blunt of Dirty Martini. And I bet the white runts and white lemon, I bet those are, and I bet they're all going to be fire. It just depends on which flavor is. Now, over on the essential, man, I think I saw some I'm on an OG hunt right now. So let's see what we got here. We got Gushman. They did go ahead and mix all that in there. All these, I want to try the Platinum Bubba Smalls. Jelly Donut's an interesting one. It's got a Platinum Bubba cut cross in it. I haven't had the Motor Breath's a good funky one, man. I haven't had the current Gorilla Butter, but it's usually good. Grape Gas is hit and miss. Golden Pineapple is pretty solid. Donnie Burger right now is supposed to be fire. I got an ounce of it. I have not opened it. I need to go on and cut into it because usually they have a fat supply of Donnie. I like popsicles. Haven't had it lately. I've got Mule Fuel, but I haven't opened it yet. Let me just get right sure. I actually have on my desk right here for my next review to be Golden Pineapple. I have Mule Fuel. This isn't a box I just got. Joy does unboxings of everything over on. I got Diesel Poison because somebody said it was really fire right now. And I got Donnie Burger because it's historically fucking one of the fire essentials. All right. I got Fire OG. I'm not sure what to think of it yet. I haven't really tried it yet. I'd kind of like smoke a little bit, but not really. I got the sashimi in the jar, and I got some gas face in the jar. And I got this lemonade, and I have smoked a couple blunts of lemonade. Lemonade's pretty fire. But those were the four essentials that I chose on my last purchase. But I'm gonna jump on some smalls and stuff. Donnie's great, man. The fucking motor breath is really good too, man. I promise. I did a video with some London Pound Cake's really good. Joy really loved the London Pound Cake. Is it even on there? Oh, it's a whole nother page. They got multiple pages they've changed. Yeah. Rainbow Mints. Wizard Fuel's fucking fire. I loved it. I did a video on it. London Pound Cake's good. I really love the Wizard Fuel. It's one of my favorite. Somebody said the Pink Starburst Essential's pretty fire right now. And definitely pay attention to anybody in the chat that said, because people, this is a plant. It can be different anytime it shows up. What I get might be a little different if I got it a month ago. So be sure to pay attention to what people are saying. Oh, cool. It tells right at the top. They got 27. So right now they got 53 options on essential. They've got 27 preferred. That's crazy. So 60, 80, 54. 54 options on the Supreme. On top of 80. That's 134 options of flour. That's insane. Who got that? True talk, I wouldn't get moon rocks from anywhere, okay? I would not get moon rocks. It's a man, if you want something like that, just get yourself some rosin and some good bubble hash. And melt your rosin, dip your nug in it, and roll that in the bubble hash, and you got the best fucking moon rock you'll ever have. What you're gonna get when you buy moon rocks is shitty weed dipped in shitty distillate with fucking shitty isolate on the outside of it. So don't buy that stuff. It's a gimmick, right? You want to get good buds, and if you want to have a moon rock, and you must have moon rock, make it yourself. Get yourself a gram of some rosin, melt it in the microwave. Just get some cheap rosin, melt it in the microwave, roll your bud in it. Get it dipped, saturated, and then roll around in some bubble hash, some powdered bubble hash that's really smelling good. And you get the outside coated, dude. It'll be so fire. It'll be fire. You'll love it. You'll thank me later. But you're going to need to put it on a piece of parchment or whatever and let it cool for it to stiffen up and become a rock. But you'll love it. You'll love it. It'll be way tastier. It'll be way better. Man, moon rocks are generally old buds that are dipped in cheap distillate with the cheap isolate on them. Let me use the restroom. Be right back. Yeah, I've never been one to rock with the moon rocks. You know what I mean? Yeah, I agree with you, Smoke Pigeon. Really, the best thing to do is just supercharge up a joint. Like if you want to have a good smoking experience, get you some rosin, get you some bubble hash, get all your concentrates and put them in a joint together. If you can roll, or you can use a rolling machine. I guess there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think. I think you can use a rolling machine to roll a hash hole, or you can just mix in. You can just mix in bubble hash or diamonds or whatever, and load it in a cone, or put little pieces of rosin, hide them in the joint in a cone if you can't roll. There's ways around this. You just want to make sure you don't put too much where it burns all fucked up. We're actually on YouTube this morning, man. Man. Woo, we're getting deep off in here now, too. I started early, y'all. I'm almost 2 hours in already. Oh, it's the Graham Reefer. What's happening, brother? Here comes the damn door kicking over on me. Where's my shut down? Oh. Man, I wonder. Yeah, we'll be all right. Let's go for some copyright striking. Man, that's a hard call, man. I think that's a preference, or whatever flavor you're looking for. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's a good question to pose there. Small buds are the. God dang, man, people are so nuts. Homeboy fucking shot his girlfriend 15 times and ran her over. It's crazy. Crazy as shit. Yeah, and we're doing a little Muzak, folks. Man, I'm gonna do a fucking poll. Can I do a goddamn poll here? Oh, I'm not looking at YouTube. I thought I was looking at YouTube for a second. We're gonna do a poll, good people. Hold on. All right, here we go. I'm gonna start the poll now. Okay, this is a question, a poll on YouTube because I got another channel. I haven't recorded any videos yet, but I watch a lot of these body cam and interrogation videos and shit. So, and I smoke when I do it, and I see a lot of other. There's a lot of channels like that where people just smoke and do and they get fucking monetized, and they're smoking. They're just not talking about the weed. They're talking about the fucking video they're watching. So, would you watch some shit like that? Or would you be interested? I've got a channel. It's called Press Play TV. I haven't uploaded anything on it yet. I want to start doing some videos there because I know that I could get away and not get restricted and all that stuff. I just wouldn't be able to talk about the same stuff that I do on this channel. You know what I mean? It'd just be totally for the reaction videos and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like if you've ever seen DJ Ghost or there's a bunch of these guys and all they do is freaking all they do is react to like the body cams or whatever shit like that, and they'll be smoking blunts or whatever the whole time. That is my Press Play TV. I'm thinking I might record something for that today because it's so easy. I don't have to do a whole lot. All I got to do is watch the video and fucking commentate on it and record it and post it. Let's see. Let's expand the poll. No, we're not trying to end the poll. We're trying to see how many people have voted. 6 votes. Why is it not telling me, well, the majority? 7 votes. Yeah, I love watching that shit. I love watching interrogation videos. What the? Oh, this thing's so damn stupid, man. The damn, what the fuck is this? That is not even, what the fuck? Okay. Man, you've been listening to YouTube music and then you change accounts and it fucks and it does weird ass shit. Right? anyways, yeah, the press play tier. I think I'm gonna record some shit for that, man. I've been seeing some crazy fucking shit. Yeah, being interrogated sucks. That's why you don't talk to the police. Just don't talk to them because it's never gonna go well. It's never going good. They're just like they tell you. They're just trying to, man. Unless you're the only time you do an interrogation, and it'll suck, is if somebody close to you was like murdered or something, and you're a suspect, and you got to clear your name of that. That's the only time you would fucking do some shit to talk to the police. Outside of that, man, they're trying to lock you up. You know, and you would want to be really careful, you know, even in that situation, because man, they could railroad your ass into a prison sentence before you know it, just so they ain't got to take care of the case. Dude, one of the things that I trip on watching these body cams is these tough ass dudes that do the craziest shit. The fucking first thing a lot of them do is, man, I need to call my mama. I need to call my mama. Like, bro, why are you trying to call your mama? Grown as fuck. You done got yourself in trouble. And now you're calling your mama? You know, why would you call your mother if you were in trouble? You know what I mean? As a grown man, why would you want to upset your mother? Like, bro, I'm going to hide that from my mother. I don't even talk to my mama, but if I did and I had a good relationship with my mother, I would be trying to hide the fact that I got arrested from my mother and take care of it as a man, rather than in the heat of the fucking situation going down, calling her, mama, you got to come get me. You know? That's likely why that man is standing in that situation, because his first thought is his mama going to get him out of fucking trouble. You know? Grown ass man. Well, it makes me think when I see a grown man be like, let me call my mama. It makes me think that they've screwed everybody in their life over to the point they don't have anybody to call. You know what I mean? Right? Doesn't it seem that way, that you're either involved with such losers or you've just screwed everybody over so bad? It's one of the two, you know? Or a combination of the both. Moral of the story is, don't get in trouble. And if you do, don't be a grown-ass man calling your mama. That's the last thing your mother needs to be worried about, is what your dumb ass did. Complaining about affiliates not boosting their egos about their sales? What? That's what, I don't even understand that, Tata. I like, you know what I like? I like when they don't fucking, they don't talk to me at all, right? The companies, that's the best. Like, we can just get to, you know, I want to rap. I want to talk to them enough to make sure they're legit. And if somebody's got a problem, they're going to be responsible and take care of it. But I don't want to have no ongoing conversation about how I'm doing my damn video. You feel me? Man, hey, Tata, the first thing to change in your life is changing your perspective, right? If you're always having a rainy day, you're always going to have a rainy day, brother. You know, every day can't be fucking sunshine and rainbows, but if you're always having a bad day, you're always going to have a bad day. You know, and some people they're just going to have a bad day. They decided that last night, you know, that tomorrow was going to suck as bad as today, you know. I've got to turn y'all around for just a second while I do illegal things. It's not illegal. It's legal. It's just not allowed on YouTube. Yeah, man, you gotta, Tata, you gotta realize who in your life is feeding you positive energy or draining you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Connect with people that make you feel, you know, charged and empowered, not people that make you feel fucking drained. You know what I mean? I mean, you maybe not totally turn away, but you just got to keep them at a distance. You don't necessarily want to turn away or turn your back on anybody. You just feed them with a long spoon. You know what I mean? You never want to turn your back on people, man, because you never know what is going to happen in your life, their life, whatever. You know what I mean? But if they're fucking, you know, if they're disrupting whatever it is you're doing or the goal you're working towards, sometimes you just got to distance yourself. You know what I mean? And then later on, you guys can reconnect and things can be better, you know, after some period or whatever. Or maybe not. Woo. Man, I try not to have any enemies, man. That's, you know, shit. It ain't nothing. That is definitely not a good thing. You don't want anybody in it. You don't want any enemies. What was I just hitting there? Oh, I'm on this OG Kush story, Cali Sour Kush. I smoked some dirty martini blunt earlier. Smoked blunt, pink grapefruit. Yeah, we're chilling now. We watched my congressional summit. Man, did anybody have any commentary on the congressional summit that watched earlier? That watched that? How did you think I did? It was my first time doing something like that, so I was trying to, you know, I did my best to. Man, fuck! I dropped out in the damn 9th grade. You know what I mean? And then I went and got my GED and I did go to college a little bit, but you know, I did my best to moderate the fucking panel with these congressional candidates. That's crazy, man. What the fuck am I doing with mother? What's going on? CBDH. Oh, CBD Hemp Direct. No, CBD Hemp Direct is actually, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. They sold it. CBD Hemp Direct's gone. It was Small Buds. Let me tell you, I know the whole story. I met with owners, talked to them. So CBD Hemp Direct was first, like Drew, one of the guys. Drew and Les, they're friends, right? They're separate guys. One lives in California. They're very tight. They do a lot of business ventures and shit together. Very cool dudes, both of them. I haven't met Les, but so Drew is one that started CBD Hemp Small Bud or CBD Hemp Direct. Had that going on forever. You know, he's even in some of the old videos, right? Drew is like with Jazzy, you know, the Jazzy CBD shit. So, anyways, he started CBD. No, I'm sorry. he had CBD Hemp Direct, and then he started THCA King and got it going. And, Dank helped him get that going in the beginning. Then he sold that to Les and was going to go into another venture. He sold that and CBD Hemp Direct to Les. And he went to go after something else. Whatever didn't, things didn't develop with the venture he was going after. So he came back and did THCA small buds and has fucking been crushing with small buds. But that's how that it all came from small buds. He's like the father of the THCA King CBD Hemp Direct. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude. I know a lot of head shops wholesale from all of them. Like there's head shops here, here in Pensacola, Florida. I went into one where one of our viewers works, and he was like, "Yeah, we got this from Small Buds." I was like, "That's fucking cool," because it's just they make it so easy, right? You know what I mean? Everything's right there on the site. You just check it out. Man, dude, I might go sneak into a hotel and eat their free breakfast buffet. Should I do it? That should be a video, right? I should get stoned and go ride my bike. That might be bad if I get caught, dog. I'm almost 46 to be sneaky. And I got money to be paying too. I'll go pay and just act like I snuck in. But the funny story on this, I took my kids to Starbucks in one of these resorts, right? And my stepson, he doesn't know that it's in a resort, in a hotel. And so when we park and we start walking up and we're going to the hotel, he thinks we're going to get in trouble for he doesn't say nothing. He's just scared because we're not guests in the hotel. He thinks we can't. I'm like, no, don't worry, but they're going to take our money for our food. We spent $50 on donuts and chocolate milk and coffee, for me and the kids. And sat out like by the ocean and stuff and ate it and everything. But it was just funny. He was afraid we were going to be in trouble for being like, right now, dude. Oh, man. Kids are funny. Yeah, but I got to do something for breakfast. We got a good restaurant on the island. If you ever go to Pensacola Beach, the Native Cafe is pretty fire, little breakfast spot here on the island. That's another breakfast place. They got a place called Salt and Hilton that looks good. I haven't eaten there yet. Another Broken Egg in Pensacola. I think it's in Pensacola. Yeah, it's in Pensacola. It's downtown, like right across the 3 Mile Bridge from Gulf Breeze. But another Broken Egg is good. It's near McGuire's Pub. If you've been to McGuire's. Dude, 18th and 8th is that what y'all sell for at your shop? You will sell 8s for $18? Because if y'all are doing that, that's pretty fucking awesome, man. A lot of like brick and mortar places are charging a lot more than online because because whatever, I don't know. I'm trying to understand that because a lot of like if they can charge this and that in the medical market, folks are getting, we know they're getting peas for less than like $1,000 in most cases. You know. What's happening, Aaron? "15 votes. So on the poll there, guys, this is for another channel that I'll be doing. This is from my channel, Press Play TV. This is I'm gonna drop the link. I should have fucking pinned it up there. I'm gonna start doing some little videos for it, man, because I'll be seeing some crazy shit on here. And for my entertainment, I don't really watch a lot of weed stuff. It's more for research, you know. I love the interrogation videos and all that crazy shit, though. It's crazy. Man, some of the law and crime shit. Does anybody watch the law and crime on YouTube? Holy fuck. I be seeing the crazy stuff on there. I don't know if I can do reactions to any of those cases or what. I have to find the bottom. I don't know if law and crime will copyright strike you or what. Yeah, I can drop a link to the X. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Reminder, guys, the giveaways on X are going to be happening. Birthday is coming very soon. Oh, was it Tim Brown's birthday yesterday? It looked like, man. Bro, there's so many bots on X. It's crazy. Yeah, there's a $1,000 gift card giveaway on Shop Hello Mary. I got a ray gun I'm giving away and the Frost Fang. Oh, shit. Damn. That's crazy. Yeah. I have 4 or 5 or 6 drop off, but I see it. Like, I'll look when I get new followers, and so many of them are just like fake women that are posting weird. They're like fake Eastern Europe women posting political stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is the fakest crap in the world. I wonder what kind of people they're getting with this stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, it's some crazy stuff on there. I don't really have even look at much of the news feed or whatever, but I go to my notifications and see new follower. It's wild. Oh man, I got to get me something to eat soon this morning. All right, I guess it's time to see if we can get away with doing electronic dabs on YouTube. We've been on we're at that 2-hour mark. We're going to hit it with a little bit of alcohol, clean it up. Check it out. This is the nail I got, y'all. In case you didn't know, this is a terporium nail. And I got the whole nail kit. I'm gonna remove it carefully because it's just a regular bucket, right, from the terporium. You can even see the T from terporium. I got the sapphire pearl, and I got this auto spinner cap, which works well, but I don't feel like it. I don't feel like I'm getting a good dab off of it with it. You know, it does. Oh, I got too much shit in my hand. I need to set down the $3 bubble cap with the $600 fucking rig. But you can see it does spin. Spins, recycles. But it doesn't do well with the coil that's on there. The directional cap gives much better dabs. So once again, we get the fucking the whole rig in a fucking safe place. We'll put the nail down here. So this is a coil from the High Five vape that I have on my website. It's only $195. It fits on a different nail, but it'll fit on any 25 mil square bucket. I just took and bent, and you see how I'm doing that? I adjusted it to where it's going to fit nice and snug on this bucket. You follow me? So now I got it on here, right? It's all the way on there. It's on that bucket. So it's going to heat it. It'll work on any, like I said, on any bucket like that. So now I'm rocking a fucking e-nail on this little heady piece here. How fucking cool is that? This one is not as good. No, this one, this whole nail kit, if you over on terporium, like, well, minus this right here. After this is a budget banger right here. Altogether, the cap and 5 sapphire pearls was $37 after using my code. I've had a code with terporium for over a year, but I'd never used it or bought anything from them. But you get a banger box and you get to select your cap, your pillar or pearls, and your nail, the whole combo. That way you're sure you get everything you need. But with this square bucket, guys, I'm going to recommend a bubble cap, especially if you're going to rock it with the e-nail like I'm doing these cold starts. You just get, it moves around. And I've tried it with and without a pearl. One pearl is good in there. So that's the way I do it. No, I haven't heard that. No, have not heard that. There's a few of them. You know, California Gold Farm had thousands of pounds get busted in Jackson, Tennessee, not far from where I used to live. You know what I mean? And it was being shipped because they're I guess they're a major distributor. I don't know. They had a bunch and got busted in Tennessee there. They got a big state, you know, they had COAs and everything, but the state wasn't feeling it. It was a lot, you know. Yeah, I'll drop that link again for you. I think I dropped it already, huh? There's a link for X right there. Aaron, do you see it? You should be able to just click right on that link. Oh. Man. Cool. Yeah, scroll down, make sure you find all the giveaways and you follow the instructions so that you can win, because my birthday is coming in 9 days and I'm giving away an $1,800 rig, $150 rig, and $1,000 gift card from Shop Hello Mary in separate giveaways on Twitter. John, I explained that to the candidates there. She mentioned the 0.3, and I said we're not even going to have that discussion here. We're not going to entertain the 0.3 discussion because you can absolutely get identical products from the cannabis and marijuana market. I'm not here to debate that, you know. I'm here to talk about sensible regulation. You're right. Oh shit. I loosened the nail a little too much. It is falling off the bucket. That is one thing. You got to make sure you got that thing. Oh shit. You got to make sure you got it on good and tight. I should have never pulled it off. Don't move it around too much when you're hitting it, because beware, it could slip off if you don't have it good and secure. If you don't have a nipple clip on it, it should be kind of difficult to put the core on. Jake, weed's already legal. Good morning. Good morning. It's already legal. That's 2018 hemp bill. We got legal weed, man. Welcome to 2025. We've been proven, the hemp market's been proven sensible cannabis policy for 7 years. Welcome to the fucking party. Yes, the 30th is my birthday. Bro, I got to tighten that up. That motherfucker, it's not hanging right. Had to wait for it to cool down. Which red bags do I recommend? Sharpies off the top, right? Right now, I just got lemonade. I like it a lot. I was just looking at red bags. Oh, I got them right here. So definitely, man, any runs all the time. Pluto 85. LCG, if you like it, I want to try some of the gelatos there. Sharpies is fucking awesome. Temptation is good, but I'm just not a big fan of it. Formula One is fucking awesome. Formula One all the time. I've never had a miss with Formula One. Mango Runs is fucking fire too. Blue Runs. I just finished. That's what I took to Nashville with me was Blue Runs. It's nice and sweet. Moneybag Runs is good too. Haven't had mochi. Glazed donut is interesting. It's got a little Kush back end on it because it's got a 98 Bubba Kush cut that's in the parentage on it. So it's interesting. I gotta fix this nail. This shit's making me nervous. I'm gonna break some shit. I haven't had crystal candy. Candy Run's been good in the past. Space Runs. Wizard Fuel. I fuck with Wizard Fuel. It's always so good. I might just order some Wizard Fuel just because this shit is fire. Zootopia. I've got some of that right here that's pretty fucking good. It's kind of like a minty, like almost. I got Zootopia. It's good. Bubble Belts hadn't had it. Cool Whip's good. Rich Boy Runs hadn't had it. Lemonade's good too. I got lemonade right here. I just smoked about 2 blunts out of it. Man, please, when it pulls up, let us know what you got and how it showed up so that, everybody can continue to make the best decisions, right? Bro, I need coffee. I guess I'll have to get another Coke here at a granola bar. I love platinum emoji from Lit. Is there any on there? I didn't see any. I saw it on there the other day, but I haven't. It was like a platinum emoji or something on the. I shouldn't have slept on it. It was on the preferreds or the not preferreds, rather the essentials. That's OG's the only one I'm seeing now. Yeah, fuck. Oh, there's a second page. It's not on there though. There ain't no more of the platinum emoji. Like this platinum emoji has been Tahoe OG, platinum OG, both been really. There's a notorious OG. It's all right, but the platinum emoji is way better, I swear. Whenever they have it. I'm sitting here scrolling the preferred menu looking for it. I don't see it. But that's when I would get a platinum emoji, no matter what tier it come on. Gonna be loud. All that. Greg! Let me grab a Coke and a fucking what you call it. I love Lit OG. Lit OG is one of my favorite. It's across the Tahoe, OG, and Runts, man. To me, that's like their fucking. That's the big deal to me. That's like their best strain to me. The Formula One's fucking fire too, man. Formula One is E85 Gelato 33 cross. It looks awesome. It smells and it tastes fucking insane. First jar I ever got from Lit, and I was fucking blown away with it. It was fucking awesome, And I stuck to jars forever. Sour OG, hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah, Dank does a lot of the THC small. They actually he buys a lot, but they send him a lot too. You know, obviously they put his name on a bunch of stuff. I got some small buds up here. I'm gonna do some videos. I got some QP Azukis and what else I got? I got some Hong Kong. Let me grab Coke and a granola bar.
But I picture in your naked standing in your booth. Now I'm just getting to know you, what you got for me. Tell me about your parents, cause the fruit don't fall far from the tree. Yeah. Are you bulletproof with your makers inside? Hey, hey. Do you hold the remote and change the channel all the time? Tell you things that you love, they can't disappear. I got rambling, it's on my mind. Absolutely, baby, but you're so unkind. I need tamales, but you let yourself cool down. Rambling on my mind so I can leave this town. Things that you love, they can't disappear. Things that you love, 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 they can't disappear.
Hong Kong is good. That's why I got it. I went there and saw it. You know what I mean? I can't just show it right now because we're on YouTube. And on the live at that. And then, man, they've been bad with like anything, showing something, showing QR codes or whatever. I'm with you, Tata. I'm happy to be here too. Yeah, it's good. It's smoking good, man. I like the Hong Kong. The Suzuki is good too. I want to try that new THCA Queen, the tropical sounding one. I want to get a QP at Bandit. Mm. Yeah, but it is until the first of the year, whole extracts. They still got the green light for another 3 months or 2 months and some days. But on January the 1st, the Tennessee Cannabis Task Force will be taking on the task of shutting motherfuckers down. They got a task force for cannabis in the state of Tennessee. that they formed during the hemp thing, because it got to be so fucking overwhelming for the agriculture department there. And the answer for Tennessee was to add a cannabis task force rather than add more people in the ag department to help oversee the growing fucking program. Let's add enforcement to come out and kick doors. Because that's what they do. They don't come in. They friendly. It'd be more sensible to have somebody who's in the ag department inspecting these places instead of just making a damn task force to raid them. There we go. Now we got her fitting again. Now it's fitting. What's yeah, what I can and can't, but I can't believe that was a go-to instead of like, man, we got all this money flying in through this fucking new program. Let's get some more guys in here behind some desks to process applications and to, you know what I'm saying? Let's grow the infrastructure. What, you know what I mean? Let's make a new law enforcement division and let's fucking get out here and we can get rid of some of them that way, baby. That's insane. Task force, the task force is to help them enforce the regulations on cannabis in the state of Tennessee, right? Because with the industry exploding here, the agriculture department was overwhelmed. That's the story, right? You know what? I am going to roll a blunt just for you, man. We're not even going to hit this dab yet. You know, I'm going to put the dab right here. We're going to fucking roll a blunt. Let's do it. Just for you, Adam. What we gonna roll in a blunt though? What should we smoke in a blunt? Exactly. They could have hired 10 people, okay, man. They could have hired some people, you know, they could have hired people, man. This is a flow of revenue as the candidate Afton Bain, I think is her name. I can't remember. I might be wrong. Byrne, I can't remember. The one I called Afton in my congressional panel, she made a point on that. Shit, now I'm fucking high, so I forget what I'm saying. Fuck. Fuck, whatever. I'm high as fuck, yo. Let's get this rolled up. Why don't we roll tiger candy? I don't have any tiger candy. Something lit. I've got pink grapefruit lemonade and Zootopia right here in the red bag. Or they're enforcing a total T in the state of Tennessee. Which should y'all want me to get Do y'all want me to get into this Donnie Burger Essential and roll one out of it? Or what about the Mule Fuel Essential? Should I roll something essential? Some golden pineapple, possibly? Or some diesel poison from the essential menu? Which one should I get into? I mean, because everybody can just, well, not everybody. I can always smoke red bags, but I can smoke on it. Donnie B. Mule Fuel. I've got some money bag ruts back here somewhere. Diesel poison. Diesel, there's 2 for the diesel poison. Somebody was really loved the Donnie B. Shit. Fucking Ira wants to see the money bag. Well, I'm gonna just smoke a blunt of it, right? I think I'm gonna do the Mule Fuel just to. I'm interested in it. I had some. It's been a while. I haven't had a whole lot of Mule Fuel. That's why I want to see and let's just see if it smells like fucking hay. First and foremost, does it have a smell? Is that smell going to be good? It's all right. It's not hay, but it's not exactly what I would think about of a Mule Fuel. But the buds don't look terrible. Kind of wispy buds. See if I can find some nice little dense ones. I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I guess the blunt will tell the story. It's too late. We're already in the Mule Fuel. It's breaking down really nicely, hand breaking. I'm not going to show the flower itself. Hodors. Dude, is that some special? That's some special speech there. Awesome guy. Hodors. Yeah, that'll do it, man. You need to keep them in a temp controlled environment. If you've got them sitting in a hot room, yeah, it'll fuck them up. It'll fuck up you, especially if it needs to be in a jar in a cool area for a little while, which a lot of essentials do. They need a little time to cure, usually. Found a little Hermes seed in this breakdown of this blunt. This is a huge ass blunt. This is way too much fucking weed. Now that I'm breaking it up. I will do a video for that. Now, as I'm breaking it up, the nose is popping out on this. Like as I'm grinding into the little buds. They're soft buds, man. They're like hand grindable. This is not like there's another little Hermes seed there. 2 Hermes seeds. I mean, but this isn't essential, so I mean it's not the end of the fucking world. I remember paying more for a quarter that was full of seeds and fucking sticks. Yeah. You be throwing half your shit away with no nose. Well, no fucking. Not no good nose or flavor. God, y'all remember that shit? Y'all remember back in the day getting brickweed or just fucking seed filled ass fucking shitty Mexican outdoor weed? No, you need to be. It wasn't clear. All right, it's. Let me see. Only one entry, so it's pretty much like any single one. You know, any. So if you look, you got three. You got a list of 3 instructions on what to do. You need to follow my page and Shop Hello Mary. You need to like that post and tag 3 friends in the comments. That's how you enter. And that's pretty much it's and share it too, you know, that helps. But I mean it's pretty clear. I think it's pretty clear. And this is winner will be announced on September 30th. So what was oh no. No, I don't no, you're not gonna be get multiple entries. Yeah, it's not terribly complicated. You just, I mean, I do giveaways all the time. I usually do one every week, man. I've got these 3 that I've been saving to do all month because they're kind of big. The glass and then this and that. But you know, I got a little app that I use that you know you plug in all your criteria, and then it rolls, and we'll do a roll, and I'll screen record it. We'll do it on live, so we'll see instantly who wins. Where's my cigar? Let's do this. Melvin, are you on the West Coast, man? I remember the hydro, but I don't remember. I remember talk of kind, bud, but I don't think we ever got any. We had like Christmas tree and skunk out here. We never really got them out in the South, really. We got a dro and but we didn't get the kind, bud. Oh. Oh, I thought I tore my damn leaf.
another stereotype to make. Oh no, no, no. The hatred keeps building up. Yeah, oh no, no, no. The tension keeps on building up. Yeah, oh no, no, no. The hatred keeps building up. Yeah, oh no, no, no. The racism is killing us. Too many times that I've seen the wrong sides. Back up with your hatred in life, cause we're bringing only good vibes. We're bringing only good vibes.
Trying to straighten out that little edge that was folded on this thing.
Empty out your hatred in life. We're bringing only good vibes. Bringing only good vibes. Hey, me tell you, it's the Taxation. Burn out the bad vibes for now. As we all know, mankind still got over. If it was the time for a die, we all would be die by now.
All right. See, we trim our leaf up just a little bit. This is going, ooh, that's folded down there too. Yeah, you see how I cut it like that, and when I roll it, it's going to wrap around it, and it'll be thick at the tip. So it won't be super thick down here. It's hidden. You can't see what I'm putting in here. Dude, that XJ1 is a Jack Herrera skunk cross. I just put the damn tip in there. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting smoke. I think rolling blunts is safe on here on YouTube because you can't see what I'm doing there. That's basically censored. Yeah, Shop Alabama got that XJ1, man. I got a half of the premium, and it's pretty fire. Loud nose. Talking about a loud nose. But all their like Jack Herrera crosses are that way. They got a platinum Jack that's super loud. Boston George is kind of in that realm of nose and flavor. All right. Who has skunk? Old school hemp's got skunk. I don't even need the two-tone Tommy tip today. This is we got it did. We ain't gonna do a two-tone Tommy tip. We'll just go with us like we rolled a backwood. Man, I like to roll backwoods every now and then. Man, if you get a good fresh backwood, they might be good. Sometimes they got a fat stem in them, though. They'd be really not tasting good. Boom. But as long as you get that, man, I like to make a paper tip and then roll the leaf inside of the paper tip and then insert that little accordion so it don't spit shit at you. And then you got a real solid smoking blunt there. In Mississippi, what part of the SIP, Dave? That's dangerous behavior there. Thank you, sir. We appreciate your contribution to the cannabis market of the South, sir. You know, somebody had to do it. By hell, bro, that is, I got a friend that's got a farm there right now. His name's Zach Wilson. He owns Good Flower Farms in Byhalia, Mississippi. Right? Very familiar with the area. I used to race my car at Byhalia Drag Strip, my red Camaro IROC. I drive it there with AC on. Yeah, buddy. I know a lot of folks in Byhalia. You know, I'm from Memphis, shit. Byhalia Tire and Battery for quality. You can ride on. You remember that fucking commercial from the radio, Dave? If you were there, because they play that shit in Memphis all the fucking time, man. That was way back, huh? Are you from the area too? Are you from Mississippi too? Or Memphis? Either one. That's where we were hearing that. Okay. I'm from Memphis, but I'm in Florida now. I'm in Pensacola Beach these days. Interesting flavor. I don't know what to think so far. It has got a fuely back end on here. How is everything in Memphis right now? I haven't been. I was there. It seemed pretty chill, but I'm not there all the time, man. It's wild. I know Memphis is wild shit. Oh man, Koala Puffs did a video on rolling a hash hole blunt. You can roll a hash hole with anything, right? I just did one on live the other morning. Yeah, the shooting and shit has got out of control with the gang stuff. That's the main thing, just not being able to go. Like, you don't know if you're at a restaurant or something, is somebody going to be there that is going to be targeted in some crazy ass gang shooting or something. And that's gotten to be out of control bad in Memphis and a lot of other cities as well. I'll hold on to the ash. Well, it's looking pretty good. Of an ash. It's not, yeah, you're absolutely right. Some of these folks need to be in jail, man. If people out here, look, I had a $50,000 bond the last time I got locked up for selling weed in Memphis, and that's kind of crazy because you could shoot somebody and get a lower bond right now. And last time I was locked up in Memphis and had that $50,000 bond, that was like fucking 15 years ago. So how the hell does it make sense that back then, and I've never even had a violent crime in my life, my bond or jump bond or anything weird like that, always showed up my court dates, whatever. But they needed to put a $50,000 bond on it. Oh, they got fucking gangs in Pittsburgh. You better believe that. They got gangs in Pittsburgh. You better believe that. Gangs, fucking corner cliques. They got it all there, man. And then plenty of organized crime too from back in the, the real or not, the motherfuckers shooting real guns out here in Melbourne. And then the next thing they do in Memphis is they go out there and they fucking pull over people on their way to work and shit on the interstate or downtown. And you got people riding around with fucking shiesties on and drive out tags and Infinities that been hit on every fucking corner. And they ain't fucking saying shit. Or whatever going on the street. They ain't fucking dealing with, but they'll jump on somebody. I see, like when I was doing refrigeration, I would see like more women on their lunch break in the medical area getting pulled over by law enforcement. And I couldn't help but think, like, with all the shit going on out here, they're pulling over some chick on her way to get her lunch because they know it's an easy ticket, right? And it's safe for them. Man, Corey, freaking that sucks, dude. At least you only got probation, no jail time, but walk down that probation or you don't want to end up in prison. And then get the hell out of fucking Idaho if you can. If you can find your way out of there. It's shit, man. Okay. Yeah, right. The sheriffs don't go in the city, right? But the police don't do a whole lot because they keep letting everybody back out, and the police are, they're scared, right? Which is shitty because these guys are like, you'll hear the cops in Memphis talk about this. Like when they go to respond to some shit, these motherfuckers these days are jumping off the porch to meet them in the street. Where when we were coming up, you ran from the police. These young folks these days are jumping up to come meet them, talking crazy to them, And that wasn't the way it ever was in the past. So the police don't know how to handle situations anymore because, damn, people are allowed to do so much to them. And then, like somewhere like Memphis, they get right back out in the same neighborhood. Meanwhile, this cop is still. Now, don't be mistaken. I was a criminal forever, and I'm not like some police love motherfucker. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't want people running around out here that will do whatever to whoever. You know what I mean? And you living in Memphis, you know exactly where I'm coming from. You know what I mean? Memphis got to be very bad. Well, you see videos of these kids clowning them. With these kids got fucking automatic weapons and whatever else, just clowning the fucking street patrol, doing donuts around the cars and shit, hanging out of the window with fucking ARPs and all kind of crazy shit, fucking rocket launchers. All you see all kind of shit. Like follow Memphis Slideshow or Blackwood News on Instagram and see what I'm talking about. This is getting to be pretty good in the middle here. It's looking pretty good too on the bird. It's an enjoyable blunt. I'm definitely smoking it. That's exactly what we did. We would run in the woods and get away. You know, we have woods behind my house, right? And we all hung out and smoked at my house. And if we saw, like, we had a spot where we had some cover where we would be sitting and smoking on the patio. And if we saw the police pulling up, it didn't matter what for. We knew we were sitting out there getting high and doing shit we wasn't supposed to. Everybody got up and fucking ran in different directions, you know? What is up, Philly Terps? Yo, what up, Kratos? Man, I might have to finish this, and I'm gonna have to call it on the stream because we're already hitting that 3-hour mark, man. That's back when intelligence was. Bruce, what's happening, Bruce? Good to see you. Man, I'm going to go over here to the bay with the kids and the paddleboards, and we're going to do some stand-up paddleboarding on the bay today. I had the kids over on the ocean side yesterday, standing up on the paddleboards, and the waves were beating the shit out of them. So I'm ready to bring them over here to the bay where it's going to be calm. And now they'll have their sea legs. You know what I'm saying? So when they get on this bay side now, because they've been standing up out there on the ocean and paddling, it's going to be a piece of cake on the bay. So that's about all I got planned for today. Y'all want to see my deadlifts from yesterday? I did some bong. Y'all know I didn't do a bong rip. I'm gonna show you my deadlift, whether you want to fucking see it or not. I bumped it up. We went up, skis on the weight. That's Joy's video. What is going on? Here we go. Where am I down? Where's my? Oh yeah, there we go. No. Where's my damn ball grip? I reckon I got fucking video of me hitting the shit, but there's my fucking deadlift. That's 515 there, right? Boy, making this shit move. This is yesterday. $5.15 for 5. Yeah, we started. I guess I fucked around and did the same workout 3 weeks in a row by accident. So I just bumped up the weight to increase intensity, and We started 495, then we did 500 on the nose, then we 515. So just getting back, I'm about 2 months back into training after a 10-month break. So we're fucking getting back in there with full intensity as quick as we can. Didn't really lose nothing, man. I just took time off to focus on, YouTube and family and moving and all that good shit. I mean, Kurt, that just depends on what people do. Not everybody bulks and cuts and all that. A lot of people just fucking train and maintain a regular diet. I don't know what my 5-rep max is, Kratos, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm shooting for a 700-pound pull in my fucking basement here at my house. So that's the only goal I have on the horizon right now. I want to deadlift 700 pounds at my house. And then from there, we can decide what we'll do with life. You know what I mean? I came very close. I've pulled 675. So I've been very close. There you go, Bruce. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people that train, like expect the concept of bulking and cutting and stuff like it is it's either going to be weight classed individuals or bodybuilders. But for the rest of us that are athletes and stuff, a lot of us just maintain weight and diet. But a lot of people that I compete with, man, they do these crazy weight cuts to make weight. Most people don't actually, they compete under their weight class because you can manipulate your weight on the scale by like 20 pounds. You know what I mean? Through different protocols. You know what I'm saying? So people will compete as 230-pound, even though they're actually 250. It's always fun to show up at weigh-ins and shit because I'm way underweight for whatever division I'm in. If I'm competing with 230s, which are actually 250s, I'm like 215. I'm about 205 right now, if that. But if I do a competition, I might just cut down and do a 195 or something. Because I could fucking kill it, dude. I could fucking kill it. That's what I need to do is fucking just cut my damn weight and then do a lighter weight competition. And I now make you sell out my culture. You know fit turn I in a vulture. No fribble up the green from the corner. If you don't know better, know we a manja. Some call it marijuana, ganja. Yes, I use straps when I deadlift. I compete in strongman, so like that. The grip in the deadlift is like not the most important part. It's picking up the maximum weight. So I use straps when I deadlift. I use figure eights. I will, when I warm up, I'll do a double overhand grip, not a hook grip, but just a standard double overhand grip to help train my grip and also to let me know where I'm at for the day. Because depending on your grip strength, at a given time, that lets you know what your body, what you're ready, your nervous system's ready for, you know what I'm saying, Bruce? You train, so you should understand perfectly what I'm saying. Your grip, like the Russian training clubs I used to, they would test your grip when you came in every morning to determine what your training load was going to be for the day. Because if you got a very weak grip, you don't have a high capacity for intensity. But if you come in and your grip is above your average or at normal, yeah, they can ramp up the intensity, so to speak. So that's also not just to train the grip, but to kind of gauge and see where I'm at for the day and see what I'm going to do on my final, because every workout I do is like a maximum for the day. My final set is, it's like 5 rep max for the day, 3 rep max for the day. That's the way my coach writes it out for me. I can show you a real quick clip here. This is gonna fuck up my damn. Let's see. It may not. No, it won't. It actually won't. I'll show you a quick clip. There's some grip strength here. Uh-ohs. All right, here we go. Look at this right here. Oh, yeah. Boom. That no straps on that. You see that? That's 3 45s, a 25, and I believe a 5, and these are 70-pound handles, and that's the same weight on the back there. So that equals 400 pounds in my hand, right? With no strap. Well, I have a belt on here. I have 2 belts on. I have like a thick leather belt, and then I have a soft support belt under that. And I'm using a mouthpiece. Other than that, that's all the equipment. Boom. But yeah, so I can't hold on to something. You know what I mean? I do have some grip strength per se. But when training the deadlift, it's not necessary to, you're not really priced for that. LA moose hash? No, I have not. What is a LA moose hash? I haven't seen that or heard of it. Man, the hash that I've really been enjoying the most. $49 votes. And then, hey, if you're on YouTube and you're looking at that poll, that's for another channel that I got. That's for another channel. That's not for doing more. On here. I've got a channel called Press Play TV. I dropped the link a couple times earlier. I should have pinned it on that post or maybe explain that a little better. I'm not going to do any more reaction videos on this channel or my Cannabis Coffee Live or any of that. It's for a whole nother channel that I got going there. Well, we'll do some blunt smoking and we'll watch some crazy fucking shit. We will catch you later, Bruce. Enjoy the cardio. I need to get out here and get on my fucking bike. But yeah, maybe perhaps I'll record something for the Press Play TV later. Hopefully you got here, I'll drop a link for it. If you're not subscribed to it, you can go ahead and get subscribed to it. That way, if I drop a video over there and you're interested in that shit, you can get a look. Boom, there you go. There's the channel. That's where the reaction video. I'll drop it over here, StreamYard too, just in case anybody over here wanted to get it. Man, appreciate everybody hanging out and smoking with me, watching the congressional fucking talk we had. I will catch y'all later. Peace.